Hey friends, welcome to the Johnson City Living Podcast, where we learn about the people, places, events, and flavors that make Johnson City just a lovely place to live. I'm your host, Colin Johnson, with the Colin and Carly Group and Keller Williams Realty. If you're interested in buying or selling a home in the area, or if you're looking at investing in a rental property, give us a call at 423-930-8003, and we will look forward to helping you. Now, let's get to today's episode. It is a chilly day here in January, here in Johnson City, and snow is still on the ground. We got a few inches. While I was gone, I wasn't here, so you guys got to enjoy that. And Carly and I, we were gallivanting around the Mediterranean. So anyway, enough about me and the snow. I'm excited for you guys to meet Cam McAllister. Welcome to the podcast, Cam.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, man. My pleasure. I'm excited to learn about your business. I love getting to know people. And this podcast has just been so much fun, such a blessing. So we get to know all kinds of new people. Before we get into your business, Johnson City Living Podcast, you know what's coming. What's your most favorite tip-top thing about Johnson City?
I have to say it would be the downtown.
Downtown.
There's always something going on in our downtown. We are very active in our downtown area. We always have something going on.
Yeah.
Like I said. So Candyland Christmas,
yeah.
Main Street Days,
yeah.
Fridays After 5, Acoustic Autumns. We got it all.
Yeah.
What more can you ask for?
You can't. They should write a song about downtown. I think they did, didn't they?
I think
downtown and everything's good.
Yeah.
That's going to be probably cut out because Mitch is going to be like, oh, that wasn't good. All right. So Sentimental Journey Antiques.
That's it.
How did we come up with the name?
And I really had a feeling you were going to ask me that. So I went ahead and I called Grandma because Sentimental Journey Antiques was my grandfather's last antique store before he retired. Yeah. So I called her and I asked her, I said, Grandma, how did you guys come up with Sentimental Journey?
Yeah.
Where?
Right.
We were throwing out names and the song Sentimental Journey was on. And then she sang it for me.
Way better than I did a second ago, yeah.
She sang it for me. And, this whole process, it has been just that. It has been a sentimental journey. So I see where Grandma was coming from.
That's cool. So this antique business is not a new creation for your family. You're a second generation, third generation. Did your parents do antiques as well?
My father's big into it. My grandparents, my husband even used to own an antique store.
Gotcha.
So
you guys are like,
we are drumming. We're ready to.
You're rolling. Yeah. It's been in your blood for a long time.
Yeah. It's been there.
That's awesome. So what do you love about antiques?
They all tell a story.
Yeah. Because some people go in and say, well, this is all a bunch of junk.
Yeah. But the thing about Sentimental Journey Antiques is it's going to be the largest retail establishment here in downtown Johnson City. It's 21,000 square feet and it's all rented out. It's all spaced out for vendors to sell their collectibles, their home decor, their antiques, furniture. We really wanted to have a wide array, something for everybody in a city that has something for everybody.
Oh, I like it. Cam, throwing it all together.
I studied.
So 21,000 square feet, that's a big building.
Yeah.
Where is this building at?
So it's located right in front of Capone's. It's the old ETSU physician's office.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great spot.
It is a beautiful spot.
Yeah.
It is 3 floors. It's, it has the first floor, a mezzanine.
Yep.
And then we have the 3rd floor as well.
Okay.
And it's a large space, 156 spots available for rent. From the beginning, we only have 9 left.
Holy cow.
Yes.
How long have you, I just saw them taking off the ETSU stuff, it felt like a month ago.
Right. So we started this process back in March.
Okay.
We secured the building, got our location locked in. We were ready to roll. We were told that we would need a sprinkler installation done. So we went ahead and proceeded and had that sprinkler installation done.
Now, did you buy that space or you're renting
it? We occupy it.
You occupy it. Okay. So you occupy the space, but the city still required you to put in a sprinkler system. So I'm assuming the landlord probably said, have fun putting that in there.
Yes. So we had the sprinkler installation done. But, over all this time of waiting,
so that took a while.
It did. We were told 3 months and it ended up taking 8.
Oh,
So, Bright Ridge still wants their money. The city still wants the water payment. All those things, were had to be taken into consideration, their priorities. But also at the same time, we have all these vendors lined up ready to move in, and we're told that we can't bring anything into the building until final inspection's done.
Yeah.
But these what do you want to call them? These contractors without a contract manager, we're just being told next week, oh, next week we'll be done. Next week we'll be done. We've had people excited and then annoyed.
Yeah.
But now we're looking at January 25th as our opening.
That's cool.
Get those doors open. We've been waiting so long. It's time.
So you had your final permit issued. So you got
3 weeks ago we were approved.
So vendors are moving in.
We had vendors in the parking lot with their trucks loaded to move their stuff in while the fire marshal was doing his last inspection.
Man, so we got some eager, excited
ready
people.
To roll. I'm telling you, we've been.
And you have 154 places and only 9 left. Is that right?
156.
156. My fault.
No, it's okay because there could be more.
Yeah.
If I cleared out some space, I can always make more room.
So is this like you're subletting the space to a vendor? Like if Mitch and I wanted to say, we're going to open Colin and Mitch's House of Hats because he's wearing a cool toboggan hat and he was super excited about that. And and so we could lease a space in there, although they'd have to be antique Carhartt hats.
No, not necessarily.
They don't have to. They could be new stuff too.
It can be new stuff. It's something for everybody, like I said.
It's just whatever's sentimental and whatever's on our journey.
Whatever's on your journey, it's something for everybody. I will always say that, something for everybody, because, you walk in and you could go in there and buy a loaf of sourdough bread from our bread girl. She's incredible. You could buy homemade dog treats from our dog treat vendor. She's also incredible. You can go up and buy some sports memorabilia on our 3rd floor. If you wanted Taylor Swift signed guitar with authenticity, I have that for you.
Where they're at, Mitch.
Do you want that, Mitch?
I think Mitch has been talking nonstop about a Taylor Swift autographed guitar.
I think he needs to come visit the 3rd floor on the 25th.
Yeah, I think so for sure. So soft opening the 25th of January, and then you're going to be rolling, and then later on you're going to jump in
so
and
January
start like have a big grand opening.
Yeah, the 25th will be just our opening, get people in the door, have people, people have lost their places to sell. A lot of them closed down, and this is some people's way of making a living.
For sure.
So, I want to get these doors open. I wanted to give them enough time to come in, set their spaces up and merchandise, and they're working very hard. Some people have been working overnight.
Yeah.
I'm there 9 to 7 every day. I also work a corporate job, and my husband does as well. So we've been working hard and at it, and it's really paying off.
That's great.
I'm very proud to see this space change.
That's cool.
So we will be having our doors open on the 25th, and every day we will be open 10 to 7, 7 days a week. And then in March, when we have our Main Street Days St. Patrick's version, we will have a 3-day grand opening.
Nice.
So the 14th, 15th, and 16th, 10 to 7.
Okay.
We'll have vendors outside the 6 spots in front of the store, and we will be serving beer and wine. We'll have appetizers, and I'm rooting for a full house.
That's awesome.
Full house, have everybody, all my spaces rented.
Yeah.
And really have something for everybody.
That's cool.
And if I don't have something for you, I want to have something for you.
Now, talk to me a little bit about the antique business shop kind of thing. Is this, Carly and I, we like to go in these shops and look around, and we've been in a bunch of them. And, but some of them feel like you own all the material, like you go maybe source it yourself, and then you bring it in here and you sell it and make a profit, I'm assuming, from between purchase price and final sales price, or that's how you keep a living going. Or you do it this way, like you kind of have little mini condoed out spaces or rented out spaces. And so had you always thought to do it this way?
I always thought that in my mind I would have an antique store and it would be just our stuff, you know? But this is so much more. This is bringing 125 small businesses into one big store, into my small business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is big for a lot of people who've never had a storefront before.
Yeah.
You know, I'm having people who sell, this one girl has an online boutique, and I'm so proud of her. She doesn't have a storefront yet, but she wants one. So I'm giving her that opportunity, and I'm helping her in every way I can. And I want to make sure that she has her own storefront.
Yeah.
Today.
I think that's super cool too.
Use me as a stepping stone, and use me for my knowledge that I've learned along the way and all my resources, because I'm just here to help.
Yeah.
So, and another great benefit with Sentimental Journey is we will also be delivering. And if you have something, you don't have to have a booth. You can do consignment. You can bring me something and say, Cam, I have no use for this. This is how much I want for it. And we'll work something out. I'll put it in the store, stage it somewhere, and when it sells, I'll have a check for you.
And so, and then consignment. Tell me more about like typical split on that, like just so that people know.
Of course. So if you have your own booth in our store, we just take 10% commission.
Oh, correct.
Yeah, super simple. And if you have a huge piece of furniture that you need placed somewhere else, we'll place it somewhere else in the store.
Put your tag on it.
You put your tag on it, and it will be a different commission.
Gotcha.
It just depends on how big the piece of furniture is, or where it goes.
Right. Because parking a Cadillac up front in the window or something. You'll pay a little bit more for that.
If you do walk by, you'll notice the very beautiful high-end furniture in our windows.
Well, I did notice that the other day. It was like a French commode in the front that looked beautiful.
I have never seen such beautiful furniture, and my husband actually found them. They were just selling online, and they're from North Carolina, Mars Hill, I believe.
Okay.
And they said, our main audience, or our main clientele, is Kingsport, Johnson City, Elizabethton. We gave them this opportunity. They literally have my window displays. They have a storefront now.
That's cool.
So now their customers can come and shop what they have in our store, and we can deliver it for them. Also, if you have things at home that you'd like to consign, we'll come pick it up for you. We just ask that it's all clean, and we know what it is firsthand.
We're not taking a bunch of yucky stuff.
Correct. And we also supply Windex for our vendors. We supply furniture polish. I always remind our vendors that this is your little storefront. Keep it maintained, keep it tight. We have expectations to uphold, and being in such a beautiful city, and you notice that these businesses here on East Main are so clean and organized, and I want to hold my vendors to that standard as well, and make sure that we're all aware that there's no reason why something should be dirty out on the floor. There's no reason, you just maintain your spot, and you have a place to sell your stuff from 10 to 7 days a week, while you are working your full-time job, while you're out picking, while you're doing these other things with your family.
Now, can you shop online too with you guys?
Eventually. And we'll also eventually be offering auctioning as
nice.
well. Yeah.
Auction it off.
Give grandpa something to do.
Oh, okay. Now, so tell me where you grew up.
So, I was born in New York, and we had moved to Charlotte, North Carolina, Concord area, actually. And then I moved back to New York until I was 16, upstate, Hudson Valley area. And then I moved to Oak Island, North Carolina when I was 16. And, I look at 16-year-old Cam, I think about him and where 26-year-old Cam is now.
Right.
I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for the knowledge, and for growing up, and for, getting out of the negative headspace and really proceeding with my life in such a strong manner. I really feel like I can make a difference and a change in the community.
That's great.
And that's always the goal.
Yeah, I think we're always trying to grow and get better every day.
Of course. And, I always volunteered with my grandparents growing up. We were big at the Habitat Restore in Southport, North Carolina. Shout out to them always. It's just really, it's in the blood.
Yeah.
And I have my grandparents to thank for it.
Yeah. Now, do you miss the beach?
I wasn't a fan of the sand. It always made my car dirty. But listen, it had its moments. Southport, Oak Island, Wilmington will always hold a special place.
One of my best friends growing up forever, he and his wife just moved to Oak Island permanently. He's retiring there, and I'm like, you lucky dog. And so we went and saw him like last year, and I'd never been to Oak Island, and it's beautiful.
It is beautiful, and I'm very fortunate to be able to grow up there, and just live the life that I lived.
Yeah. That's fun.
But yeah.
So tell me what you and your husband do here for fun. What's your main things you guys?
So here lately, it's been working. That's our fun because the progress is so rewarding.
Yeah.
We've been electricians, we've been painters, we've been contractors. It was just him and I framing the store.
Oh, wow.
It was just him and I. My dad came and helped for a couple weekends, but, it was us painting. If our vendors didn't, I refused to open with brown pegboard. I said, make me paint it white,
yeah.
Elegance, please. But we do like to hang out with the friends on the board and.
Yeah, tell me about Downtown Connect. Sorry, I'm jumping in, but
no, it's a good thing to jump into. Downtown Connect is, they're the reason why we have these downtown events, and I'm very grateful to be a board member, a part of this.
Yeah,
there's two women from the city, Sarah Delbean and Lindsay Jones, and I always say that there is no physical key to Johnson City. The two of them are the key to Johnson City, because the city portion of this is so important with the Main Street program to make sure that we can have these downtown events, to make sure that they're being ran safely, legally, ethically.
Yeah.
They have the city on their shoulders and they really deliver. Main Street Days was huge for us.
Now, they tied in with the JCDA as well? That's
a good question. I'm not sure.
Okay. Gotcha.
But they are with the city. She's the Main Street director. And yes, they're just two great, incredible people.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, I think it's good to have our city involved for sure, to make sure, because it takes a lot to put on these events.
It does. 180 trees this year for Candyland Christmas.
Crazy?
Insane. Absolutely insane.
It was beautiful. We went and walked.
Whoville could never.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. What's your favorite thing to do outside around here in Johnson City, besides just walking around downtown for some of the events? Are you guys hikers? Do you like to go to the dog park?
So when we first moved here, we did spend a lot of time hiking and whatnot. But like I said, we've been planning opening the store for a long time. So
you've just been tied up.
It really has been. And he had an operation on his Achilles the year before last.
Okay.
And he fell septic. He was sick. We spent, a holiday and his birthday in the hospital, 24 days.
Yeah.
And as soon as he was starting to get better was when this process started. So we've really have been full throttle since then. But we overcome. We really do overcome. Just like the hurricane, we overcome. We help each other. We get through it.
Yeah.
We do. And like I said, the result is so rewarding.
That's awesome. Tell me, besides the grandparents, who are some of the influential people that kind of got you where you are today?
I didn't have the best role models growing up until I moved here. I really realized what a true, authentic role model really is. Yeah. And that's my two girls from the city, Lindsay Jones and Sarah Delbean. And I also have to give major props to Shannon Costello.
Oh, she's great. Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah, she's so sweet.
And her husband's very funny too.
Jose is awesome. I think he's been on here a couple times. We just love
family.
Jose. Oh yeah,
all of them.
They are super great.
But yeah, and besides my grandparents, it would be, I have the biggest support system with friends and family, but this is different. All these small businesses encouraging us and telling us keep going. People thought we gave up, and that was humiliating.
No, we didn't give up. We're just waiting on pipes.
Yeah, we're just waiting on these pipes.
Yeah.
But it's a good thing because we do have extra fire extinguishers in the store. There's 3 sets of sprinkler heads installed on the 3rd floor.
Okay.
We are fully equipped and we are fully to code. We have nothing to worry about.
There you go.
So that
definitely safe space to bring your things, your wares to sell.
And also during this time, we also went ahead and replaced all the we've replaced all the lighting to LEDs, and that sprinkler system fully equipped, and just we were able to build more spots.
Yeah.
It's great. Everything has really worked out.
Now, if Mitch and I wanted to open our hat business, what's the space? Well, typically, because you've got 9 spaces left, right? So we could sell those.
Yes.
So what would a space typically cost somebody to, just because, there might be somebody listening who's like, I've always wanted to do that.
Yeah, so the prices of our booze, they range. So we do have, smaller size booze, medium. You tell me what you want, I'll build it for you, size booze.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that was very selective on that. I wanted to make sure that our vendors were getting what they wanted. And, I would even ask them, what do you want to pay a month? And I'll build you something and you tell me if it's good for you.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So somebody would tell me $80 a month. I would build them a nice little 4x7 wall space, pegboard, everything they need. Like I said, you're fully equipped, but it ranges between $250 to $350 a square foot, depending on what floor you want to be on.
Gotcha.
So, $350 a square foot, you're looking at the first floor.
Gotcha.
But as you go on up to our larger rooms, which you can tell is where ETSU did their biggest renovation, was on those offices on the third floor. You have a beautiful view of the city. You have the sports collectors up there. You have Wildwood vintage clothing up there. You have high-end furniture, and my grandparents, who are very high-end as well. So
You keep them up there? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I do actually keep them up. They're a little bit of everywhere. They have so much stuff. And I had this dream. I can't wait to have my office. I want an office.
You don't want an office.
And
You're rolling your eyes like
I would love an office if it wasn't full of storage supplies, parts of an accent wall, 2x4. It's my grandparents' stuff. It'll come.
Yeah, it'll get there.
Yeah, I'm in no rush.
That's
right.
And
if anything, my husband says I can use a storage closet somewhere.
There you go. It'll be
do
fine.
Computer work.
Yeah. Yeah. The status is just down the street. You can work from there.
Right. And that too. But I could also go swing by Spark.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly.
Go see my friends over there.
So what's you said you guys both have day jobs. What are your all's day job?
So my husband, he's a deli bakery merchandiser for grocery stores.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so he's an independent merchandiser. So he'll go to grocery stores and sell them product that they need, displays, food product, containers, things to efficiently run a deli bakery.
Nice.
So he does travel quite a bit. He has stores in East Tennessee, Kentucky, North Carolina, Ohio. So, he travels quite a bit.
Yeah, I'd say.
And I do work for our local Johnson City Public supermarkets here. I started in our grocery department, and now I'm actually a cake decorator.
Oh,
and
sweet.
It is the best job. I work with some incredible decorators and bakers. I look forward to it, even though, our schedules, we have to be there at 4 a.m. That's what it's been. It's been 4 a.m. to 7 p.m. Just germinating it out between both places.
That's awesome. You're a hard worker.
That's it. It's in the blood, like I said.
Yeah. Where do you feel like you got your work ethic? Is your dad a hard worker?
My dad, both my parents are very hard workers.
Okay.
My mom's on the nursing side, and my father is a contractor. And, growing up, that's all I ever knew was just go, hustle, provide for your family.
For sure.
But also my grandfather, IBM, antique store owner, my grandmother, school teacher, RN.
Antique owner.
It's insane to me. I'm very inspired by my family and how hard they work.
Yeah.
And they just pass it down.
Yeah. And some of that's, it's cool to keep it going.
Yeah. And, my sister, she's the same way. She lives in New York, 2 kids, a husband, 2 dogs. And she does it. She's a hard worker
Getting
too.
after it. Yeah.
That's all we know.
Well, yeah, I think that's one of the reasons America's doing so well, because we have a lot of hard workers, and we have a ton of immigrants that are out working us, which is great. I mean, that's what's making America great too, because we've got a big influence of all kinds of different folks coming, and Johnson City is just that same melting pot now with everybody moving here.
It is.
How long have you lived in Johnson City?
Well, I've been here for 2 years. It was 2 years in August, but I do want you to know, 4 years ago today, I stepped foot in Johnson City for the very first time.
Oh, wow. Today.
So when you scheduled for the 14th, I said it only makes sense.
Yeah.
So this is, Johnson City has always held a special place in my heart. This is really where I decided who I was as a person and what I wanted to do with my life and get involved in the community. And it's sentimental.
Yeah, it's all part of your sentimental journey.
But, this is where I found the love of my life. This is where we got married, and this is, where we want to start our family eventually. And now we have a business here.
That's cool. What brought you to Johnson City? Like, there's a lot of places in the country.
So Johnny, my husband, his work is remote. So
Okay.
this was like the good touchdown spot. And he's from here originally.
Gotcha.
So his first antique store that he owned was in Bristol.
Okay. Cool.
So, yeah. Many years ago.
Yeah. My wife, Carly, she's from Bristol. So we love Bristol. It's a good
Bristol's
spot.
beautiful.
Kingsport's a great spot. There's not any bad spots around.
There's not.
They're all a little unique and just beautiful.
But Johnson City, though.
Yeah.
Like I said, where can you go wrong?
Yeah. You kind of alluded to having some challenges growing up, maybe. What's been some of the difficult things that you've had to overcome that you feel like, okay, I'm going to make it. I'm going to do it. Like,
Anxiety has always been a big part of my life.
Yeah.
It's always just been there. And I don't know if that's just from experiences or traumatic events. It's just always been there. And
Sure.
if these things didn't happen to me or, I didn't go through this, I wouldn't be the way I am today.
Right.
So that's what I thank God for, the good and the bad. Because really, like I said, where would I be today
Yeah.
if I were still, just childish? And I don't know. I'm very proud of the growth.
Good. Yeah. I think there's a saying something about like he won't bring you to it if he doesn't help bring you through it. And so the Lord's going to make you. Yeah.
I love that. And, I also am a big promoter. I do have a list of all of the local mental health facilities, psychiatrists, therapists. I have a list of them at my store. So if anybody ever needs to come by,
right,
I'm there. I have a list for you. And I also have all the ones that are the most affordable.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I think it's always good to help out. And I think mental health is a big thing that we are starting to get more like, it used to be a little taboo, like to go when I was growing up, right? I'm 52 and, therapist or counselor or a psychiatrist, what's wrong with you, or whatever. And so I think it's a lot more open to people just being ready to go. Like because you need some counseling, you need some talking.
Yeah.
I think everybody.
I agree, and I think COVID changed a lot of people.
My gosh.
And like I said, we overcome, but it's still there.
Yeah, it was a big hard time for sure. Yeah. Anything else you're working on right now that you'd want to share with the listeners?
Just getting those doors open.
Just get them open. Let's go, people.
To get those doors open.
And let's get those other 9 spots rented out.
Let's fill up before our grand opening, which is going to be a banger. Live music, beer, wine, we're going to have it all. And we want it to be very exciting. It's going to be a very exciting weekend for downtown Johnson City. The first Main Street Days really blew everybody away. It really helped these small businesses. And it's going to be great.
That's awesome.
And I really hope the weather's going to be.
Oh, it'll be good. Yeah.
It'll
be good. It'll be good. If what was something I forgot to ask you? Anything or you want to ask me if you were hosting the podcast?
If I were to ask you something, how did you come up with this idea? How did you come up with this idea of doing a podcast to reach an audience? That's what you're doing. You're reaching an audience in so many different ways. And I'm learning as a business owner, marketing is so important. And after college, I went to school to be a mortician. And when I was done, I deleted all social media. I didn't have a need for it, a use for it. So I'm realizing how important it is to get yourself out there, to put reels out there, to collaborate. I'm actually sending my first collaboration invitation tomorrow.
Oh, look at that. That's cool.
With another small business.
Yeah.
So where did you get the idea to start a podcast?
Well, I appreciate you asking that. My friend Leighton Hart, and we did a podcast, I don't know, 6 years ago, or just recorded one in his living room. And because he was like, I got this idea that we should do a podcast or whatever. I was like, that'd be fun. And so we just sat down and talked about Johnson City and that kind of thing. And he recorded it, and he was like, all right, I'm just going to mess around with this and see what happens. And then we just kind of got off track, I guess, but he was more determined. And so he followed through and actually said, he started a podcast and called Johnson City Living. This one, he started it. And, but in the pandemic, I was like wanting to connect with people, and so I wanted to start my own podcast. And I think I had seen him on the socials doing one, but didn't look into it much, which is sad to say. But I wanted, and so called him because I knew he was doing some stuff, and he actually started a podcasting company where they hosted podcasts. And so I was like, this is cool. Anyway, it worked out that he wanted to step more into the role of the production side of it and build up other podcasters. He's a really good developer, and so he wanted to do that. And so he got that rolling. And then now Mitch with Maypop Media, he and his wife took over that business about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. Oh, wow. 3 years ago. Time's flying. And so, and which has allowed me to just step into the role of the podcast host. And it's been fun because I love getting to meet new people.
I got to say, because, I've never been on a podcast before.
Yeah.
This is my very first one. And this is very comfortable. This is very zen. I would do this again.
Okay, good. Yeah. My thought is like, I want to try and get to know you and let our listeners get to know you guys and talk about your businesses and how do we help connect you. And what do you love about Johnson City? Because we get people moving here all the time and they tell me why they love it. And so I'm always asking so that they, people who haven't moved here, who want to move here and hopefully connect with me to help them move here. What do they, they can hear, like, man, I've heard this and this and this about Johnson City. It's awesome. It's the best place to live.
It truly is.
It really is.
I've nothing can compare. Even those buildings in Wilmington, the historic downtown, I couldn't feel.
Yeah.
I couldn't feel what I do here.
Yeah.
And I thank you. This is big for a small business owner.
Oh.
Really getting it out there. Like I said, I'm 125 small businesses inside of one small business.
Which is a super cool idea. I love it. Because it sounds like, you don't have to worry about every day selling something, because you've got rent coming in,
Correct.
Which is, I love rental property, rental income, and I love hearing new ways of doing it. And so this condoing out space in your building is pretty cool.
Absolutely.
I think it's a great concept, and I'm sure it's going to just do great.
Yeah.
And
I really hope so.
Wish you guys the best with that. How can our listeners connect with you online, Cam?
Well, they can follow us on, it's SJ Antiques, JC, Instagram, and Sentimental Journey Antiques on Facebook. And any other downtown information or anything else you want to know about downtown, you can go on our Instagram for, I believe it's Downtown JCTN, and also the downtown website and Facebook page as well for downtown events.
There you go. I love it. And last question, what just gets you super fired up? Like, I'm jumping out of bed, just ready to roll. Is it signing a lease on a new space with somebody, helping somebody move in their big couch to sell, or is it
it's
hammering out walls in the building?
The helping people is the most rewarding part.
Yeah,
growing up, I've always seen my grandparents help others.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm doing, and that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to help you establish yourself, especially if you've never done this before.
Sure.
I'm going to help the community, and I'm going to make a difference.
Yeah.
And I stand on that.
Yeah. Now, do you have a little space in there too? You're selling stuff?
Listen, I do have a space, but it's not a priority to me right now. It is my vendors that I want to be set up and ready to roll.
Gotcha.
I will get myself fully equipped, I promise.
I love it. And you'll find an office somewhere in the mix.
Right, yes.
Well, I'm glad you finally got sprinklers up and running and got your final CO and you're ready to roll. So that's great.
Absolutely.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Anything else you want to share before we go?
I just want to say a big thank you to everybody who's been part of this, everybody who's been there for the good, the bad, who's been there to listen to me cry and complain, the constant reminders that everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful, and all the help from these other small businesses around me. East Maine is like no other. We are tight-knit, and I'm always here. We are always here, and it's only up from here.
That's awesome.
So thank you, Lindsay Jones, Sarah Delbene, all of you.
Shannon
Jose,
right.
Johnny, Grandma, Grandpa. I could keep going. There's been so much. I'm very grateful for all of it.
I love it. Yeah, I think that's great. If you, if you live in a place of gratitude and where you're just like wanting to help people, you can't go wrong. You're going to have so much good energy coming off of you that it's going to just continue to grow.
Definitely. And my vendors have such good drive. They've been working so diligently. And like I said, overnights, hours on end. And getting ready for Valentine's Day, right?
Oh, that's right.
Corner.
Yeah.
And downtown will be hosting something, so look out for that.
That's cool. Well, thanks for coming on the podcast. Thanks for being a part of downtown. and making our area better. I really enjoy getting to know you and look forward to seeing the space, Chloe, and I'll come check it out pretty soon.
Appreciate it.
And
thank you for making me feel included.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Glad to do it. Glad to do it. And thank you guys for listening. Thanks for subscribing. Thank you for reaching out and just asking for help. And you can ask me anything, anytime. My number's down on the show notes, or you can email me. Or you can reach out to Cam and come see his space. So
always here. My light's always on.
There you go. I love it. Well, thank you so much and have a great day.